welcome friends and family to a Thursday edition of Bet. I'm Tyler Fulghum. She is Erin Dolan, and we are with you for the next 30 minutes here to break down Thursday Night Football. Great AFC West matchup between the Chiefs and the Chargers. We'll dabble in the NBA. Our good buddy Anita Marks will stop by. Of course, the prop queen is going to drop some props on you for the Thursday Night Affairs. If you want to catch all of our sports gambling content we produce on all of ESPN's platforms, that's where you find it right there. YouTube.com/ESPN Sports Betting. Erin, how you doing on this Thursday? We just had an hour-long daily wager. You ready for 30 minutes more of my loud mouth?
Of course. You're my favorite person on the show.
Well, let's dive right in. You know, on Thursdays, we get things kick-started by opening up the dictionary and finding a good word or two. I'm going to read a prompt. It's going to leave open the opportunity for you to share a word with the viewers, then you explain why you are thinking of that word. I'll let you have the floor first. Our first prompt, Erin, in the NBA, Kevin Durant playing tonight. 3-1 to win the MVP. That's second behind his old teammate Steph Curry, who's a plus 130 favorite. What is your good word?
My good word is cautious. Now, when betting into the MVP market, something I said before the season started was you have to make sure that you have great health and availability. Now, Kevin Durant last season, he was sitting a lot of the back-to-backs, but now he doesn't have Kyrie Irving. So he's played in 26 of 28 games, and now his entire team is completely riddled with COVID. And the reason I'm saying cautious is because I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin Durant actually ended up coming down with COVID, granted that everybody on his team has it. And we saw this with Joel Embiid when he was out for 3 weeks. His odds completely plummeted in terms of the MVP market. So if Kevin Durant is to miss some time, I would be very cautious. Same thing goes for Steph Curry, even though he's leading the pack and should technically on paper right now win this award, considering he's at plus 140. I just think with everything going on with COVID, you need to be cautious in terms of any futures that you want to place right now.
Yeah, I like that. Kevin Durant certainly has been balling. You make a great point, though, about the fact that his whole entire team's been riddled with COVID. Seems like the probabilities are increased that he could come down and miss some times in health and safety protocol. That's just the reality of the world we live in right now, unfortunately. Erin, my word is opportunity. Takes a while to spell that, as you see. I hope I spelled it right there. I would like to take this opportunity to remind everyone that just like this prompt, this MVP award is not a two-man race. It's not Kevin Durant and Steph Curry. We need to, like our buddy Zach Lowe did yesterday on NBA Today, remind you that last year's MVP, Nikola Jokic, very much belongs in this conversation. Is this team as good as Brooklyn's or Golden State's? No. But Jokic has been the best basketball player on planet Earth. Better than Curry, better than Kevin Durant. You look at advanced metrics, you look at his raw numbers, you look at the metrics of Nikola Jokic and what the Nuggets do with him on the floor versus him off the floor. There is not a bigger gap of any player with him on and off the floor in the NBA than the reigning league MVP, Nikola Jokic. He's a walking triple-double. He's been the best player in the NBA. So I'm taking this opportunity to remind you, he belongs in this conversation. It's not a two-man convo. It is a three-man convo with the reigning league MVP. All right, Erin, we mentioned how COVID has just been disastrous here as of late. Seems like it's been ramping up, unfortunately, near Christmas time. And to the NFL we go, where the Cleveland Browns have gone from a 6-point favorite to now a 3.5-point dog against Las Vegas because of a rash of COVID issues on their team, including head coach Kevin Stefanski and quarterback Baker Mayfield. So this 9.5-point line move has you searching for what good word?
Out. I'm completely out on this game. Nobody should be betting this game. I wouldn't be surprised if more players come down and unfortunately contract COVID. You can see this game. The one thing that I said in Daily Wager was to either live bet this game or look at Raiders player props. But props aren't even being put up for this game because we're not sure who's even going to play in this game at this point. Then for the quarterback position, Case Keenum is now out. I feel like every hour or so it gets even worse for the Cleveland Browns, and it's unfortunate because this was a huge game in terms of AFC North implications. They needed to get this win, and consider just seeing how big this line move is shows me that one, odds makers have to factor in all these players out, of course. But just in general, nobody knows what's going to happen in this game. I'd be surprised if this game even happened. I feel like Roger Goodell is going to have to step in and say something about this Saturday game.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying there. My Rams dealing with a similar rash of COVID issues. I think they have 25 players on the protocols now, so definitely understand that. Erin, My word is going to look familiar. It's the same word I used before, and you'll see a theme here.
Such a long word to spell.
I really didn't think about it. Yeah, I really didn't think about how that would drag the pace of the show down. But again, I'm going to use the word opportunity because now, since this has swung from Browns favored by 6 to plus 3.5, we have the opportunity to tease the Browns all the way up to 9.5. I know they're dealing with issues, but they're still the better team. The Raiders have been in a tailspin for the last month and a half of the season. They haven't scored more than 16 points in 5 of their last 6 games. As long as Nick Chubb and Myles Garrett are on the field, I think this is a great opportunity to now gain 17 points of value on this Cleveland team at home against the Las Vegas Raiders. Tease them up to 9.5, and I think that is where the opportunity lies if you have to pick a side. But again, this is also an opportunity to say, as Erin did, I'm out on betting a game like this where there is so much uncertainty going around. Sticking in the NFL, Erin, your Philadelphia Eagles, plus 160 to make the playoffs. I see that helmet over your left shoulder. What is your good word in Philly?
My good word is dogs, okay? The Philadelphia Eagles, they play like underdogs. They did that when they won the Super Bowl. They had 3 playoff berths until last season, which was absolutely just disastrous. But nonetheless, this is something that could potentially happen because ESPN's Football Power Index gives the Eagles a 33.4% chance to make the playoffs, which is the best of the NFC's 6 and 7 teams. So you have the Washington football team, Minnesota, Atlanta, and the Saints sitting up there. This is possible considering their schedule is the Washington football team, the Giants, Washington football team, and then Dallas. Hopefully they can sneak in with a win over Dallas. That would make this so much better. But the Eagles are number 1 in the league in running the ball, rushing yards. So they need to do that against Washington football team this week. But I will say the Washington football team, they're ranked 5th on defense in terms of the run. So I'm a little concerned about that. But, you know, Philadelphia, they play like dogs. If you think they're going to make it, this is definitely a bet you want to take at that plus money.
Now, do you prefer the D-O-G-S or the D-A-W-G-S spelling of dogs?
I guess the D-A-W-G-S. You know when we won the Super Bowl and everybody was wearing the dog masks?
I like where you're at there. Okay, I believe in your Philadelphia Eagles, Erin, so I think this is, once again, you'll notice the theme here, an opportunity for you to find a bet on your team at, I think, a pretty good, valuable price, plus 160. You mentioned what they have as far as their remaining schedule. The Washington football team is in front of them right now in this wild card race. Both teams are 6 and 7, but they play this team twice in the next 3 weeks. That is a golden opportunity for your Gang Green, or Kelly Green, I should say, to knock out that team that is directly in front of them. And that number 1 rushing attack against Washington will be helped out by the fact that Chase Young is now on IR. Jonathan Allen, I believe, is going to be out this week. Montez Sweat is out as well. So some of those key run defenders for the Washington football team out, who were in earlier this season at the most inopportune time when they have to face the number 1 rushing attack in the National Football League. Good stuff there, Erin, with the good word. And now you see our good friend Anita Marks joining the show. We're going to dive into Thursday Night Football. Now a great AFC West matchup with the Chiefs and the Chargers. Of course, this game, like all in the NFL right now, affected by health and safety protocols and injuries. So let's bring in our LA correspondent, Lindsay Theory, who is at SoFi Stadium with the latest on what these two teams are dealing with.
Thanks, Tyler. Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert tells me this Chiefs defense is capable of incredible things and that they will get after him on every single play. The Chargers might be catching somewhat of a break, though, with Chiefs star defensive tackle Chris Jones out on the reserve COVID-19 list. Herbert is preparing to face pressure and be disruptive. He says the key will be their protection plan and making sure that his playmakers stay solid on their routes. Tyler, watch for Herbert to try to get rid of the ball quickly tonight against this Chiefs defense.
Good stuff, Lindsay. Thank you very much. I like what you're saying about Justin Herbert trying to get that rock out, maybe having a big game. Let's dive in on Thursday night. You see the number there. The Chiefs are road favorites. laying 3 on the road in SoFi. Total of 54. It's shot up big time here. Open, I think, around 50, 50 and a half. It's now at 54. You heard some of those players missing on the Kansas City defense. Anita, we will start with you. What kind of game script are you developing here? How you look at side and total?
Really? Dude, is it not obvious with my Mahomes Magic Crunch cereal that I ate this morning and my Patrick is my homie ornament for Christmas? And oh, by the way, my Patrick Mahomes shirt. Listen, I'm all over Kansas City here. I think the fact that you've got Herbert, who is not going to have his left tackle, Slater, I think is going to be really crucial in this game. Also, I know Eckler is going to be active, but he's dealing with an ankle issue. More importantly, Derwin James is going to be active, but he's dealing with a hamstring issue. And the way that the Chargers have been able to contain, not stop, but contain Patrick Mahomes and the Chargers is that too high safety, that kind of shield. And I think that it's going to be suspect tonight because Derwin James is not 100%. On top of that, this Kansas City Chiefs team, offensively, they've been able to move the chain, score touchdowns, and defensively, the last 6 games, guys, number 3 defense in the NFL. Teams are only averaging 10 points a game against them. And they've just been, and here's another one, they have not allowed 1 rushing touchdown in the last 6 games to an opposing backfield, which is really, really unbelievable. So I'm all over Kansas City.
Maybe the dumbest question I've ever asked in the history of this show, considering the Mahomes crunch, the Mahomie ornament, and the shirt, which I saw no more than 45 minutes ago on Daily Wager. That's what Anita was rocking. So, dumb question on my part here. I'd see you like Darrell Williams over 2.5 receptions out of that backfield as well. Anita, real quick, why are you on Darrell Williams?
Yeah, he is a big part of their passing game. And again, the defense that the Los Angeles Chargers are going to try to play is containment. Keep everything inside. So I see a lot of dink and dunk, captain check down, if you may. And Williams is the receiving back more so than Allaire. So that's why I think I love this prop bet. It's my favorite. It was my best bet on Daily Wager. Over 2.5 receptions.
All right, loving that one with some conviction. All right, Erin, develop a game script for me. How you see this playing out, side, total, and if there's a prop that you have such conviction on, please share it with the people.
So I'm playing the under tonight. I talked about this on the show earlier. This line opened 49.5 and then was bet up to 54.5. I've seen it back down to 54. Some books are already saying 53.5. So that number's been bouncing around. When these two played each other in week 3, they had a total of 54 points. Both of these offenses are great. They're putting up 27 points per game, but the Chiefs defense has been better since week 3. They're allowing opponents just 21 points. They've held their last 3 opponents to just 9 points per game, which is pretty impressive considering that the Chargers, on the other hand, their defense has allowed 24 points per game for their last 3 opponents. So just a lot of the trends looking towards the under. Thursday Night Football is 11-5. I haven't been a fan of betting the unders, but I just think since this was bet up so much, I like under 54. And 54.5 is what I said on the show, but you can't get that line anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, and Big Mike Williams, I see, is in your crosshairs. What do you like about his potential to go off tonight?
Yes. So I'm going to take him over 56.5 receiving yards. Has come down 1 point. Now, for him, he's played great in that week 3 matchup. He had 7 receptions for 122 yards, and he's averaging over 57.5 already. He's averaging 70 receiving yards per game. He's hit over 57.5. 8 out of the 13 games that he has played in. Now I know Keenan Allen is going to be his biggest kind of competition on the field tonight, considering he probably will get the most receptions. But just in general, I think that he'll be able to hit over this player prop for sure for his receiving yards.
Excellent. I will share my thoughts on this game. And just so you know, I was on the over when it was down near 52. Going up to 54, I've come off that a little bit. That is high. As Erin mentioned, that's the number of points they scored in their first meeting, week 3. So I'm officially on the Chargers plus the 3 points. I will say something that I do love, if you are so inclined, a 2-leg 6-point teaser within this same game. Tease the Chargers up to 9 points and tease the total down to 48 and go over that. I think there will be scoring. 54 is just a very high number. There's a lot of players missing on the Kansas City defense. Same can be said for the offensive line of the Chargers, and Derwin James might be less than 100% defensively for the Chargers. But I'm on the Chargers plus 3. There is a potential for a 2-leg 6-point teaser within this game if you are so inclined. I do think Patrick Mahomes will drop back and throw the rock a lot. He had 44 pass attempts in week 3 when these teams first met. This is a 37.5 line. I think 40 is well within the realm of possibility. The Chargers promote added play volume. Their opponents are averaging 65 plays per game this season. So if the Chiefs get 65 plays, that means they need to run the football 28 times for Mahomes to fail to go over. Pardon me, I just don't think that's in Andy Reid's playbook. If there's going to be 65 plays, I think it's more likely 40 of them are passes and 25 of them are runs. So as long as it stays at 37.5 for pass attempts for Patrick Mahomes, I think that is the upper limit for me. If it gets to 38.5, I'd probably pass. But at 37.5, I will go over for Mahomes, who again had 44 chucks of the rock last time these two teams met in Week 3. All right, the props have been dropped for Thursday Night Football. Ladies, it is time to get to your favorite segment of the show on a Thursday. It's Blind Bet. Here are the results from last week's Thursday night affair in Minnesota. Pittsburgh at the Vikings. Now, Erin, your pick took the L. Pittsburgh did not win the second quarter. Too bad you didn't have the third or fourth quarter when they were coming back. Anita, you won with Greg Joseph going over 2.5 PATs rather quickly in that game with the way they jumped out. So, Anita with the big win in Blind Bet. That means, Erin, you get to select first today. You have two options. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera 2. Which envelope would you like?
I'm going with number 1.
Number 1?
Yes, number 1.
Number 1 it is. All right, Miss Dolan, if I can get it out of here. I would not be a good host at like the Grammys or anything, taking that long to pull cards out. Ooh, okay, this one's interesting. Erin,
the suspense is high.
To score a touchdown and the Chiefs to win, plus 175.
Ooh.
Would you like to keep this or pass it to the woman who is in love with the quarterback throwing Travis Kelce the football tonight, Patrick Mahomes?
No, I think I'll keep this one. Travis Kelce to get a touchdown seems very plausible. I actually think the Chiefs will win this one. I was just assuming the Chargers would be able to cover if it was at +4. That's something I talked about this week. But I definitely would take that bet at plus, what was it, 175 you just said, or 170?
Plus 175.
Either way, good value.
Plus 175 for a Kelce
All right, I will
TD
keep
and
it.
a Chiefs victory. I saw the look of disappointment on Anita's face. She really wanted that one, so maybe a little gamesmanship there by Erin.
She's all decked out.
To prevent Anita from having Travis Kelce. Here's what you are left with then, Anita. Envelope number 2.
Uh-oh.
4 or more first half touchdowns priced at plus 155. How do you feel about the chances of this one hitting?
4 or more first half touchdowns? Okay, I'll take it. I do like Erin's bet more, but I think again I'm putting a lot of emphasis on Derwin James and his injury, and even though he's going to be playing, he's not going to be 100%. That hamstring issue. I think that Travis Kelce is going to have the upper hand tonight, especially in the passing game. So.
All right, so Erin with Kelce, and the Chiefs have to win the game. Anita, you just need 4 touchdowns scored in the first half. Doesn't matter where they come from, and you're a winner in Blind Bet. All right, Anita, go see if you can find something else with Mahomes etched on it in your house. Come back in just a little bit here. We have to get to the Parlay to Paradise now, Erin. You know the drill here. We each give 2 bets that we like for the weekend. We have a celebrity guest picker come on and join us and share a 5th bet, a 5-leg parlay to try and go to paradise. I don't know who the celebrity guest is for this week, but I'm guessing, since I haven't been told, it may be one of the finest guests we've ever had in the history of the show. Like, it could be a massive surprise. Erin, last week, I did pretty hot. I nailed both Green Bay and New Orleans. Don't feel bad. Brett Okamoto also cost us with the Randy Costa over Tony Kelly. So your unders, I know you were big on unders last week, and that didn't hit. Such is the life of a gambler. That will happen.
Didn't work out.
But don't feel bad. Our celebrity guest picker didn't get anyway, so if you would have gotten both right, we still would have taken the L there. So no harm, no foul. I'll let you lead it off again. Parlay to Paradise. What 2 bets do you have for the weekend?
I mean, it's very unlike me to take unders, and I tweeted out that I wasn't going to take any more unders, but Nonetheless, my favorite two that I like this week, Patriots plus 2.5. A lot of people are betting this on the Colts just because the Patriots have won 7 straight, covered 7 straight. I think Bill Belichick will absolutely stop the run game, shut down Jonathan Taylor, make Carson Wentz throw the football. And I'm an Eagles fan, as you can see behind me. I have really no faith in him. And when the Colts play up to competition, they don't play well. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots were able to do this, get it done with the points at home. On the road. So I'm going with them as my first one. Another one, this is kind of a random one. Titans first half money line minus 122. So the Steelers have gone 3 straight games without scoring in the first half. They've only put up 2 field goals at most. So for me, I think that it's a very low scoring. I think the Titans will be able to come out, be a little bit hotter than they are. And the Steelers, they let Minnesota jump out to a 22-point first half lead in that last game. So for me, I'm going to go Titans first half money line minus 122.
Yeah, I like those picks. Taking Bill Belichick with the points has rarely hurt gamblers in his career. And then the Steelers offense. Yeah, it really does seem like they have had trouble getting things started early in games in Tennessee. Say what you will about the injuries. They just keep churning out victories. My 2 plays, both in the NFL. One of them actually in the same game you have. I'll get to that in a second. Oh, no, I'll start with that since it is a Saturday game. I'm going to take the under in that New England-Indy matchup. So you got New England plus the points. I have the under 45. We have to thread the needle here with both, but certainly possible. I'm expecting a low-scoring game with both of these teams being teams that suppress play volume. Indy, their games average the 7th fewest combined snaps. New England, their games average the 4th fewest combined snaps and the 8th fewest combined points. 2 teams coming off the bye, want to run the football, control the line of scrimmage, play good defense. That, to me, signals a highly physical but low-scoring playoff caliber game. Then Green Bay at Baltimore. Anything under 6 with Aaron Rodgers against a reeling Baltimore team that may or may not have Lamar is definitely without both of its starting cornerbacks against Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. Good luck with that. All of a sudden, they have a 2-headed monster in the backfield with A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones at running back against a depleted Baltimore defense that's been wrecked by injury. Again, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers 11-2 ATS. They've been the best against the number all season long. I don't see any reason why that stops on the road in Baltimore at less than 6 points. So, Aaron and I have dropped 2. Again, I'm excited to see now who our celebrity guest picker is because usually I have inside knowledge of who is going to join us here. So I'm guessing this may be the biggest celeb we've ever had in the history of the show. Drum roll, please. Our celebrity guest picker is...
So what I'm hearing is that since I left the show, it's really gone downhill. But it's between you and me, Jimmy. All right. Oh, hey, Aaron and Travis. Good to see you again. Thank you so much for having me as your celebrity guest picker for the Parlay to Paradise, joining other world-class celebrities such as Douglas Kazarian. My pick for you is going to be the Jimmy Kimmel, LA Bowl featuring Oregon State and Utah State. We're going to go under 67.5 total points. Oregon State wants to run the ball in this game. They rank 12th in the country in rushing. They're going against the Utah State defense that ranks 85th defending the run. So I think the Beavers are going to have their way in terms of moving the ball down the field, grinding the pace, and keeping their defense on the sideline nice and rested for when Utah State wants to take the field. Thank you again so much for having me on. Back to you, Travis.
Like a Joe Fortenbaugh best bet, what a letdown that was. I was really excited. Thought we might have someone really cool for our celebrity guest picker. Instead, it's that clown Fortenbaugh, who we kicked off the show for you anyways, Aaron, so we could class it up a little bit. So on principle alone, I hope we don't win this, and I hope you and I both go 2 for 2, and we can laugh in Joe's face as Oregon State and Utah State score 85 points in the first half. You see the parlay there, 100 to win, 2,300 and some change, but unbelievable. Fortenbaugh, that's the best we could do, Weimer. Shame on you. Shame on you indeed. To the association now we go. Running the 3-human weave here. Anita Marks back with us. Now, wait a second, Anita. I see a costume change there. Hold on a second. No longer just decked out in Patty Mahomes gear, but you got Travis Kelce as well. So she is definitely back in the Chiefs tonight. There's no doubt about that.
Aaron, this is your opportunity to renege on that bet you made. I'll take the Travis Kelce if you want. I've got the shirt.
Oh, she is.
Anita wants
hard.
it so bad. I mean, just pass it off at this point.
No, don't do that. Keep it. Keep it. Oh, and a dog made its way to the set as well. Of course, that is far from uncommon when Anita is with us here on Bet or Daily Wagers. There's pups running around everywhere.
Because she woofs ESPN.
Oh, isn't that adorable? Oh, I love that. Which one is that? Is that
So
Safno?
cute.
Is that?
This is
Yeah,
Suki.
Safno is the only name I know, so that's the only one I say. But one of Anita's, I believe, four lovely four-legged friends. All right, three-person weave to the NBA. We go first and foremost. Knicks-Rockets game we are looking at tonight. All right, we see 5.5. The Knicks are laying, total of 215.5. Anita, do you have a play you like in this matchup?
Yeah, listen, give me the Rockets for sure. They're back at home. They want to rebound after a really ugly loss to Cleveland last night. And as for the Knicks, guys, I'm here in New York. Man, it's bad. And I tell you it's bad, it's bad. Julius Randle is lost. Kimball Walker is benched. The team is reeling. They've lost so many. So yeah, man, give me the Rockets and the points at home 7 days a week and twice on Thursday night.
That'll do. All right, Erin, Knicks laying 5.5, total of 215. Are you going to the prop market?
I am. Wait, quick question though. Isn't Julius Randle playing? Am I crazy? Is he ruled out with COVID?
He is. I have just gotten
that
word. That's
breaking
not
news?
something I knew coming in to today, but Julius Randle apparently on the COVID list now with R.J. Barrett, Obi Toppin, Quentin Grimes, and a whole list of Knickerbockers. Is that messing with your best bet?
He was going to be my best bet was going to be Julius Randle over 23.5 points. I thought he's been turning things around, even though the Knicks have been terrible, lost 7 of the last 8. So this is a tough one. I would stay away from this game. I mean, the Houston Rockets, it's hard for me to back them, only considering how bad they got beat by the Cavs, and they have a ton of players out as well. It's COVID versus COVID at this point. So if there's other player props and matchups that you can kind of bet on, I would do that.
All right. We may have some confusion here. Randle may be available, still available in prop markets.
I was going to say, is Randle paying?
Okay, if Randle,
confused.
here, let me just put it this way to our viewers. If Randle is playing, we like over 23.5 points. If he, for some reason, has been ruled out, we can't be checking Twitter while we're hosting shows and whatnot.
Okay.
So if you see that he is
he's
out,
on my, he's 22.5 points I'm seeing right now on some of the books.
Okay.
Yeah, I would be betting that if making sure that he's in. But he had 25 of the team's 31 points in the second half against the Knicks. Against the Warriors on Tuesday. So just considering that he's leading the team in scoring and against a team like the Houston Rockets that ranked 28th in defense, it's just an easy over for Randle tonight.
Sad reality of the world we live in, because we're expecting now players to be missing games due to COVID with the rash that has come over the NBA, NFL, and NHL deep into December. I'm going to play Eric Gordon over 16.5 points. He's back after taking last game off for rest with no Christian Wood, no Kevin Porter Jr., no Daniel House, and no Jalen Green. He has the highest usage rate on the team. Good matchup against the Knicks defense that has struggled this season, especially at the guard spot. He should get 15 to 20 field goal attempts in this matchup, and 16.5 a little bit too low for a guy who is going to have the ball in his hands and probably take more shots than any other Rocket on the floor tonight. All right, now to the Wizards and the Suns. That's the nightcap we have in the association. Wizards getting 8.5 on the road in Phoenix, total of 213. Erin, I know you like a player prop, and we know DeAndre Ayton is playing in this game, right?
Yes, I'm taking DeAndre Ayton over 18.5 points. He's averaging 17 points this season, but he's hit over 18.5 in 3 of the last 5 games. He also dropped a season-high 28 points in the Suns' overtime win, I should say, against the Trailblazers recently, so I think he'll be able to hit over tonight considering Devin Booker is still out.
All right, Anita?
I'm
sorry.
It's my turn? Man, listen.
No, I jumped the gun. I'll just say, me and Erin have the same best bet for this game. I'm on DeAndre Ayton over 18.5, so there you go. We got 2 on Ayton now, Anita Marks, that Erin and I have gotten out of the way. What's your favorite play for this matchup between the Wizards and the Suns?
Yeah, listen, I'm with you with the Ayton. I like the over in points and rebounds combined for him tonight. But get this, the Suns, they're really good at home. They're averaging 57 points in the first half. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to play the Suns in the first quarter at -2.5. I'm going to play them in the first half at -5. So, I'm thinking I'll use some house money after the first half to then, of course, double up in the game. So that's how I'm playing this one tonight. Suns are going to roll and they're going to run early.
All right, good stuff, Anita and Erin. Before we let you go, a reminder from the Red Cross on disaster relief for the Midwest. Thousands have been affected by southern and Midwest tornadoes. If you would like to help, please visit redcross.org/ESPN to help the Red Cross respond and help people recover from this disaster all over the Midwest. Hit my home state of Missouri, Kentucky as well. So anything you can do, absolutely appreciate it. As always, I appreciate Anita Marks and Erin Dolan helping me out for a Thursday edition of Bet. Enjoy Thursday night football and the NBA. We'll see you back here bright and early Sunday morning.